Hello watchers, welcome back to the channel. Today I have here a watch from Vostok Europe. Now this is not the original Vostok company, which was founded in the 1940s. Now Vostok has a very interesting history. I think, founded in the midst of World War II, became the official military watchmaker for the Russian military. Original Vostok have, there's a lot of story behind that, how they had to learn to make their watch movements because they were cut off from trade with, Swiss watchmakers particularly. So, there's a lot behind that, and you can read about it. Vostok Europe, you can see at the 12 o'clock position there, VE with that symbol. That's really a more modern alliteration of the company, 2003 founding in Lithuania, as I believe it. So more modern story. Originally, they do use Vostok movements, and this one here inside is in fact a Vostok movement. And I'll go into that in a little bit more detail. This is themed very interestingly on the Caspian sea monster. So here we have the Vostok Europe Ekranoplan, reference number as far as I know is 5455107. I'm not absolutely 100% on that, but that's what I've been able to find on my research. The flyer that this was themed upon is a Russian ground effect vehicle, so a low flying vehicle with not a great wingspan because it uses the ground effect. At the time, the Caspian sea monster, 92 meters long, 37 meters wide, was the largest plane in the world, interestingly. So this one at the moment you can still get your hands on it. Approximately $600 is what it seems to go for on the sites that I found it on. The movement is the Vostok 2432.01. Very differently, it beats at 19,800 beats per hour, the slowest movement on an automatic watch I have seen. 2.5 hertz, if you will. 32 joules, 36-hour power reserve. It does have manual wind function and a very interesting execution of a complication. So that 24-hour display there, just below the brand, and then a day-night indicator in that quarter cutout there below the hour hand, the hand attachments there. And then it's got the Russian style date setting. So if you look at the date window at the bottom there, 18, I'm going to go forward to change it. Well, 16, sorry, to 17. And then I'm going to go back. And just as I pass 9, there's a little click, ever so soft, and go forward again. And you can see it's gone to 19, and that's how you set the date. Go back to 9, it goes click, and then go forward past midnight. And that's it's really quite interesting how it's executed, how the date is set in this Russian watch movements. So the case here is 47 millimeters in a sandblasted style gray PVD, really quite interesting. 316L steel, 15 millimeter on the thickness, so it's really quite chunky. And then differently, it's got 25 millimeter lugs, really quite different in everything that they do. The screw and display back that you've seen there displays the movement. You can see that balance wheel beating away there. And with the screw-in crown, no sign there, it's rated at 200 meters for water resistance. The dial there, you may have already noticed, is it's got a green textured wave in the middle between the chapter ring, in the middle of the chapter ring there. It's got a green wave, again in the theme of this sea monster. And you can see the 24-hour day-night and the date windows already. I've pointed that out. There are 17 Trigolite Tritium gas tubes on this dial here. So it is a Tritium lume watch. At the bottom of the dial, you can see this H3 there. So that's Tritium. And then you can see a T25, kind of that radioactive level rating that I've spoken about before in my watch lume video. Mineral crystal on the top, and then it's got 120 click unidirectional style diving bezel and a knurled grip on the bezel there, which really has been quite pleasant to use, along with the same type of pattern on that screw-in crown that you can see there, steel insert on the bezel, not ceramic or anything else. The strap originally was actually a silicon green, but that unfortunately has disintegrated. This again was a watch that was lent to me by Graham, my friend and local enthusiast, who has made his collection available for review. Thank you again, Graham, for this. And he's replaced this with this really quite a nice handmade strap from Caspian. I've never heard of them, but they really do seem to make high quality straps. Not cheap, but this one goes very well with this particular watch, I think. So, what really has struck me about this watch? Well, it's such a different, nice alternative to everything else out there, to the main things from Switzerland, from Japan, China. Vostok really has its own very interesting history. The design, nothing else I've had quite has this, very industrial, square, sharp corner designs that they sometimes have out of their watches. And their movements, they really had to design their own thing. And you saw the date setting. That's just nothing else I have. You would set the date like that. It's not a quick set date, but it's not as if you have to round it every 24 hours to advance the date. It's just a different type of mechanism. This particular watch itself, the Ekranoplan, is a well-executed theme. A C, I guess, for the green color, the wave dial. You can see that Caspian sea monster plane at the bottom there above the 6 o'clock date marker. That must have been quite a sight, in its day. That 90-meter long plane flying just about 5 meters above the sea level. The 24-hour display, again, I've not seen anything quite like that. The way they've had the day-night indicator at the bottom there and the 24-hour dial. And I'll just quickly show that as you go forward. It's nighttime. So it's black at the bottom there, and then as you go past 6 a.m., then the day white color comes in. That's really how they've kind of played it. Very interesting. Just the little things, the little differences that they have. It's a very rugged watch. 15 millimeters is not a formal watch by any means. It's a rugged, tough watch, a casual type of use that you would put this into work for. It is very large, so it's not for everyone. It's 47 millimeters on diameter and 15 millimeters thick, so it really does stick out, and it may not be for everybody. With these very light straps, it is already 145 grams. So imagine if you had a steel bracelet, it would be a heavy watch as well. But as it is, it's fine. 140 grams, 145. Now let's put it on for the wrist shot. And there we have it. So, I think it's too big for my 17 centimeter wrist. I'm not the biggest person, but some people could easily carry this. I think if you had a significantly bigger wrist than mine, which many people would. So, for my own use, this is, probably a little bit too large for me. It looks a bit disproportionate on my hand, but that's how it would look like on the wrist there. So, guys, thank you for watching and sharing this experience of discovering Vostok with me. Guys, if you enjoy my videos, give us a like and do consider subscribing. I put out new content every week. I'm learning new things about horology all the time, and I share it right here on the channel, always trying to be unbiased and objective about all things horology that I discuss. Thank you again, guys, for watching, and as always, I will catch you next time.